Welcome to this week's episode of the Exchange Zone podcast, the bridge between sports and life, where we talk to former collegiate, world-class, and professional athletes about the lessons they learned competing that they use in their life right now. Yo, we want to welcome you again to the Exchange Zone podcast. You know, the bridge between sports and life. And you know what the Exchange Zone is. This is where this baton goes from one teammate to the next because we don't want to hear. When we hear that noise, we know the baton has been dropped. When it's been dropped, we can't complete the race because we have been disqualified. And champions don't drop the baton. Today, we're with another world-class champion, brilliant mind, former athlete, former collegiate Division I athlete, Mr. Darnell Henderson. Welcome to the Exchange Zone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the invitation as well.
Well, we know you're one of the bright minds out there in the world and in the workplace today, and we want to hear what you have to share with our audience. We don't like to waste a lot of time. We just want to get into it. You know, we like to start with, where did sports begin with you? What sports did you participate in? And we found out through discussions that a lot of times the highest level sport that you participated in may not even be your favorite sport. So maybe break that down to us. How did sports come into your life?
So, man, I grew up, my parents had me at a young age. I grew up in the house with my mom, my great grandmother, and my great grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So my dad, and I grew up in Marrero. It's on the West Bank of New Orleans. So to get from one place to another place, like 7 minutes. So my dad was like 7 minutes away, but I grew up in the house with my grandparents and my great grandparents and my mom. So I remember, I guess I had to be about 6 or 7. I don't know if it was I'm assuming it was my mom, dad, whoever signed me up for park ball. So like I said, stuff is close. So I actually started playing football when I was about 6 or 7.
Okay.
I remember walking to practice. Like it was a nice little walk. It probably was about a 5 to 10 minute walk my mom and I would make to go to practice. Every now and then, my great grandfather may or may not take me. So that's kind of where it all started, man. I'll be honest with you, going to play football, like I would play like in the neighborhood. We would even play tackle. We wouldn't always play touch. I would play tackle some. We played tackle sometimes too, but obviously that's all I had done. So it was definitely an eye-opening experience to put those pads on and actually, you know, play in an organized game. But that's where I started my sports journey at, man. The Nicholson Redskins was the name of the team. So yeah, that's where.
Throwback. So football was one of those team sports. What are some things that you learned playing football that you've applied to life now?
Like I said, the first and foremost, like you pretty much got to be, I would say, like you can't half do sports, right?
Okay.
Like I said, like even as a kid, you go to school all day, you come home, you do your homework, and you have practice. So one thing that football adds, or sports add to your life, just in general, football in my situation, and that at this time, is to add some structure. You know, it gives you something to do, right?
Right.
So even, you know, playing sports my whole life, even through high school, through college, even in college, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how I would have, what my college experience could have been different if I didn't have football, right?
Okay.
I would see people like, you see them one semester, they're gone the next semester, right? They don't have nothing to do. They're hanging out, you know, sitting on the stoop all day, not going to class. So even in college, football helped add some structure to my life. I knew in order to play, I had to have a C, right? I know the teacher's not going to just give me a C if I'm not going to class. So right. I had to go to class. Be frank with you, helps you with with taking care of yourself. You know, You got to exercise.
Yeah.
I remember when we would have two-a-days when I was at Southern. I remember we would have two-a-days, right? And like we wouldn't drink sodas because you don't want to have because you can't. It's going to be tough to go out there and practice 2 days in a week or 2 times a day.
2 times a day. Yeah.
So so yeah, man, just adding even adding structure to your diet. We would have to like go to the cafeteria. We sneak in a little sip of soda just to see how it tastes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just adds a lot of structure and I feel as if though kind of gives you purpose. And like even if you don't even if you aren't intentionally setting goals, even if you have goals, I just think that man, that sports kind of sets some structure in your life that you can apply even after playing sports. So now obviously I haven't played sports since college. I try to play golf or whatever. But
Yeah,
I haven't
that's the real sport right there. Woo. Woo.
so just going to work every day, it's no different than, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go lift weights and train and stuff. You got to go to work every day. And
Right.
then while you're at work, right, when you're playing sports, no one wants to sit the bench. Well, most people, you got some people who want to just wear a uniform, but if you do it for a while, you like it, you want to play. So in order to play, you got to be one of the best people to be able to play. So it's just like, now that I've been teaching now for 20 years, I always want to be the best teacher on the campus.
Okay.
So what do I need to do to be the best teacher, man? So I think that sports sets a good foundation, man, for a whole bunch of stuff, like you said, that you may or may not realize in different parts of your life.
Well, you covered a lot of ground. We talked about structure, we talked about goals, we talked about being the best. So I want to cover those. I'm trying to figure out which order I want to go in. I'll start with the last one. You talked about you wanting to be the best. So in football, from your days, 7 years old, walking, you want to be the best. Um, what scratches your competitive itch now?
Oh well, like I said, and I'll mention this as well. Um, so when I was 7, right,
Right.
I remember scoring my first touchdown. Right, it is so funny. I had my eyes closed the whole time.
What?
Yes.
Oh
So I
my goodness.
played running back, and
Okay.
you mentioned like your team like depend like having a team and things of that nature, right? So if you're playing running back and they call 21 dive,
Right.
right? That play goes straight through the middle. So before the play starts, you have a whole bunch of people like right there in the middle. So it is up to the linemen to make their blocks or whatever, right?
Right.
Like I said, I had played football um, at the like in the neighborhood or whatever, but I remember running like 21 blasts, man, like in one of the games, and I ran through the hole with my eyes closed and I didn't get touched, right? So I'm as fast as I can because I'm freaking scared because I don't want to get hit,
Oh my
right?
god.
So I go score, man, and it just you get the reaction from the crowd, you get the reaction from your teammates, you see your family at the game.
Right.
So just the joy that comes with being successful, man. And like I say, and like in high school, when I got to high school, I played quarterback. So
Okay.
I was playing quarterback, and I was playing safety, right?
Okay.
I think I was on that was when I was on JV. So I was playing safety. Somebody runs through the hole. I go up to tackle them, and I dislocate my fracture. I got a little small fracture in my thumb, so I was out for a few weeks, right?
Okay.
Uh, so it just so happened that the same coach I had on the JV team, because they fired the varsity coach. So the same coach I had on the JV team was the same coach on the varsity team.
Okay.
So he wouldn't let me go both ways. So in high school, for 2 years, I played quarterback, right? Sounds great, right? Bro, I won one game my junior year, one game my senior year. So in my 2 years of varsity football, we won I won two games, right? So and I tell my daughter her situation was total opposite of mine. So when I got to college, I was grateful enough, man. Southern had just won a Black National Championship and a SWAC championship in '93. Okay, I got there in '95 under Coach Pete Richardson. I had to walk on, which was good. That kind of that was good for me in my life. I walked on. I did earn a scholarship my junior year when I starting on defense. But I played since I was a freshman. Like I said, just like I scored that touchdown with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
When I first got in the game at Southern University, I had a buddy of mine, Pittman. He's still my friend today. Still talk to him. Lives here in Houston. So Pitt was recruited. Pitt was like a high recruit, and so he knew the defensive back coach, like personally knew him, right? I didn't have as that rapport. I didn't have that favor, right?
Right.
So we're blowing Prairie View out, man. We're in Beaumont. We're blowing Prairie View out. Okay. I'm standing beside my buddy Pitt. Coach Vite puts Pitt in the game, and Coach Richardson is like, "Hey, man, put Henderson in the game." So they put me in the game on a kickoff team, right? They put me in the game on a kickoff team. I go in the game. Now, to this day, I still try to do the best I can to stay in compliance, right? As a teacher in the classroom, whether I agree with what they ask me to do or not, whether I think it's going to be effective or not, I try to stay in compliance.
Right.
I get in the game, right? There's a guy, I hope these people don't mind me mentioning their names. There's a guy, Lance, right? Lance Jackson. Lance has been playing defense and he's been on special teams. And it's a blowout. He's tired. He like, "Hey, D-Hen, I'm tired. You be the gunner." I was supposed to be the safety valve. He was like, "You be the gunner. I'm going to be the safety valve." I know my role, so I knew that if I was a safety valve, I got to, be the safety valve. But as the gunner, I go to the ball, right?
Right.
Switch with Lance, they kick the ball off. I'm on the left-hand side of the field. The ball is kicked to the right-hand side of the field.
Okay.
So when we watch film, Coach Graves, who was the former coach at Southern. So when you watch the film, you see me run from my side of the field, and I go and make the tackle on the 10-yard line, right?
Okay. Right.
Never missed another game at Southern.
Wow.
So that's just another example of me just trying to do the best that I can. And while I was at Southern, I was blessed with the opportunity. Like I only won 2 games in high school.
Right.
But at Southern, man, I might have in 5 years, because I got redshirted and I changed my major, so I needed that extra year for my academics as well.
Smart. Yeah.
So in 5 years, man, I remember losing like one game a year.
Right.
And then one year we thought the world was coming to an end. We lost 3 games, bro. We lost 3 games, and that was the only year that we didn't win SWAC, right?
Wow.
So that experience, like I said, even though I had the competitive nature and always wanted to play, it was a blessing to be a part of championship caliber, I'm gonna just say organization, because not only did we win SWAC championships, but we also won Black National Championships as well. So I know to be a winner, you got to put in the work. You can't just talk about winning. And like I said, I have that same attitude in all that I do. It's like if I come up short, it won't be because I didn't do my best.
Got you. Got you. Yeah. 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 And in the classroom, it's always something to compete and do with. I want to go back to this idea. You had goals then. Do you set goals now, and how do you set them?
Oh,
In what you do.
so so that's a good question. So as an athlete, right, and I tell this to my girls: if you don't want to go pro, you're wasting your time, right?
Wow. Okay.
Even if you don't want to go pro, if you don't want to go pro, you're wasting your time, right? Because um, if you don't set the goal to the highest mark attainable, then that is going to be that's going to be reflected in what you put in.
Right. Yeah.
So if the expectation is not to meet the highest mark,
What?
then I feel as though you're wasting your time. So for example, right, right now in HISD, we have what's called a spot form where they do teacher observations. They come into your room, you
Right.
only got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes and they want to see an hour of work. They want to see an hour of what they want to see what you do on a daily basis in an hour in 10 minutes, right? It's called a spot form. At first it was 15 points. Now they've changed it to 18 points. So the most you can get is 18 points. So whenever I have a spot observation, right, my goal is to always get an 18.
Yes.
Even if I feel as if though they don't want me to get an 18, I still want to get an 18, right? When we have test scores, when we have the faculty meeting with the test scores, right? I'm not gonna do any. I'm not gonna jump off a building or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I want my students' test scores to be at the top every single time.
Yeah.
Right. So these are some things that I feel as if though helps me to continue to strive to be the best that I can. So like with the spot form, if you like, some people don't like it. And the reason they don't like it is, to me, it holds you accountable, right?
Okay.
So but they're trying to get you a snapshot. So I don't mind you trying to hold me accountable, because my expectations for myself are as high as the expectations that you have for me as well.
Right.
So when you come so when you come in with this spot form, you know, my goal is to get an 18. If I don't get an 18, that's fine. Now here's why I think that my college coach might have felt some kind of way about me, right? If I don't get an 18 on that spot form, I want to have dialogue on why didn't I get an 18.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not saying you did something wrong.
Right.
I'm not offended.
Right.
I just want to hear, okay, what didn't you see? Because here's my thing. I might have felt like I was doing that, but you didn't see it, right? So I need to make sure that I make that evident. When I was in college, we would have you have your end of year evaluation, just like a job,
Right.
right? It's like, I know this, man, every year. I'm like, hey, coach, how I get on? I'm a freshman.
Right.
How you on the field, man?
What can I do to get better?
There you go. There you go.
What do I need to work on? Yeah.
That can be taken the wrong way as arrogance or cockiness. But like I like Deion Sanders, man. I've always liked Deion. He played cornerback. I played cornerback.
Uh-huh.
So Deion is, I think he says, like, don't let my confidence, offend your whatever, or,
Right.
or something like that, right? So
Right.
it's not that I'm trying to say that, I'm perfect and you should give me an 18 every time.
Right.
All I'm saying is, what do I need to do next time so that I can get an 18? And like I said, like with the coach, I remember one time, man, we're in practice, bro. We're in practice. We're in practice doing warm-up drills. So I must not drop the ball often because I only remember him saying this one time. I dropped the ball one time, and he's like, "Come on, Henderson, you're supposed to have an S on your chest." Like, what made, like, why do you feel that way? Like, what did I say to you to make you think that I think I have an S on my chest? So that's why I say the fact that I just want to do well and I want to achieve at a high level. I felt as if though that rubbed him the wrong way, and I see that today in the classroom as well, man. Like people coming to my room to give me an observation, so I open the door. I'm welcoming you in. Come on in. You know.
Yeah.
They told my principal, oh, he was very confident. He was very overconfident. What?
Wow.
Because I opened the door and said, "Come in," because I know you're coming in. I see you at the door. So yeah, man. So I want to do the best I can. I put my best foot forward in whatever it is, and then whatever the highest mark is, man. That's how I set my goals. So like I say, being a professional at anything. So one of the things I do outside of school is I trade. I trade in markets right now. I do the stock market. I was doing the Forex, but like my goal is to be a professional trader. You know, what's the purpose of me trying to trade if my goal is not to be a professional? So that's how, that's how I set my goals, man. I want to, what's the highest? All right, let's shoot for it. Like they say, if you fall short, then you land on the stars or something.
Right. You shoot for the moon and fall short, you still amongst the stars. Yeah, that is a very, one of the books I was reading talked about that, about setting these goals. If you want to go to the pros, then shoot for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's even better, right?
Yeah, because
The
you have
elite.
to get through there. You have to get through your goal to get to your goal.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
No, that's
I like that.
That's a great um, approach. Now, one of the things you've talked about is this. It sounds like you're real big on communication and you want feedback and continuous feedback, which for some people can be a problem. So,
Yes.
and you talked about how you made some references to the coach and not necessarily saying eye to eye. How do you overcome the struggles? How did you overcome them then? And then what can you share with our audience on how they can, how do they deal with struggles now? How do you overcome when things don't go, even if you're misinterpreted or misunderstood? How do you handle that?
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. So I had so this guy, his name's Coach Vite. In college, right? You have your position coach, right?
Really?
It just so happens he was my position coach, and he was also the defensive coordinator. Okay, so I have to deal with this guy every day, right?
Yeah.
And when I was at Southern, bro, we were going to, back then they would call it, they had a Heritage Bowl,
Yep.
right? We're going to the Heritage Bowl every year. That's in December, right? And then we got, spring practice and training and stuff in the spring. So I have to deal with this guy on a daily basis. And I share this in my Sunday school class as well. I would rather for people to have very high expectations of me than to not have any expectations at all.
Wow.
Because people don't have expectations for you, then you might not have them for yourself as well.
Okay.
So every day, right? I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do the best that I can, right? And so this was a very different experience for me as an athlete. I grew up in the house. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah. Thank you. That's how. So I'm never disrespectful, right? So I've never had a problem with a coach before. So this was a different experience for me, having to deal with this guy. But like I said, I didn't allow him to put anything on me that I wouldn't expect of myself.
Wow.
So what I would say is and I once again I tell this to my children as well, is that if someone is demanding more of you, right? They probably see something in you,
Yeah.
and that they're trying to get out of you, whether they're doing it out of love, or if they're doing it out of miscontent or malice,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't matter, right? The God said the word will be spread. Even if you're trying to misuse the word of God,
Yeah.
it's still being spread, right? So even if you're trying to hold me down, just like Joseph, even if you're trying to hold me down, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to put obstacles in my way that you think that I can't overcome, I appreciate that. So now I have to figure out how to overcome that. So now what did that do for me? So now in life, at when I'm at work, you may or may not, everyone at work might not be for you. You might have some people that don't like you at work. You
Right.
might have a supervisor or something like that that doesn't like you at work, wants somebody else to get the promotion, right?
Right.
So what I would say is that you set the bar high enough to whereas when they set the bar for you, it's not high enough. you know
Wow. Yeah.
so so now if they go higher than you, then heck, that means you got to step
You
your
got to
game
go
up. You
higher
know
than
what
them.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what I would say is just that if you have someone, whether it's someone out of love or out of malice, if you have someone that's pushing you, take that as an honor. Take that as them seeing something in you. Because, like I said, if people aren't encouraging you, if people aren't getting you to go the extra mile,
Yeah.
then that might mean that you don't look like you had a potential to do so. So if they're trying to stretch you outside of your comfort zone, then use that as an opportunity to grow and develop yourself.
That's one way to overcome it. You can't put more on me that I'm going to put on myself. So I'm going to always that's a great mindset shift. That's a great way to approach people putting stuff on you. You can't put more on me. My expectations are how this. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes,
That's
sir.
that's good. That's good. Hey, if you had to go back and talk to yourself at 18, 19, would you tell yourself anything uh, in hindsight? Would you tell yourself anything, or would you do anything differently from the experiences you have now, knowing this, being on this side of, we're not, we might be in decent shape, but we're not 22 and 21 anymore.
Right. Um. So I would say this. Uh. And let me say this first. Like I said, if you're gonna play sports, if you're gonna play sports, your goal should be to go pro, right? So obviously that's my goal. But you also, I'm sorry, I am also honest with myself. Okay, man, I'm 5'10", 170 pounds, right?
Yeah.
I might be able to hit on my best day after doing 100 push-ups right before. I might be able to hit 225 8 times on my best day
Gotcha.
after warming up with some push-ups. So the only thing that I could say that my dad would try to encourage me a lot to do,
Uh-huh.
because my dad played Canadian football, so he actually was a professional athlete, right?
Okay.
So the only thing that my dad would encourage me to do that I never would do was lift weights, right? I just didn't lift weights.
Yeah.
Now, if I had lifted weights, does that mean I go pro? No. Because like I said, I'm 5'10",
Right.
170.
Right.
I don't care if I hit 225 15 times,
Right.
different weights. Still not going to go pro. So um, I would train. I would go and run.
Yeah.
I would work on my techniques.
Uh-huh.
I paid attention. I paid attention in film. I'll share this about Coach Vite. We were in a meeting, right? We have this guy, and this is why I say I would lift weights, but I don't know. I don't think it made it. We got this guy from Chicago, right? New to the team, plays strong safety. Looked like he's cut from a freaking rock.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 6'2", 230, solid.
Yeah.
You know, looks like an all-American football player. Dumb as a rock. Dumb as a rock, right? So Coach Vite says this out loud. I wish I could take your brain and put it in his body.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So as far as like regrets or anything, man, like I said, I think I did the best that I could. The only thing I did that I was not like really into that I can recall was lifting weights.
Okay.
But as far as regret, like as, oh man, I wish I'd have lifted more weights, I really don't feel that way about it. But that's like one of the only things that I feel as though I did. Now, obviously, when I had to go lift weights, I would go, you know.
Right.
But you know, I mean, I'm playing. We had DBs like my buddy Pittman. Man, Pittman was hitting 225 like 15, 16 times. You know, little bit tall. He's a little bit taller than I was. A lot faster than I was.
Yeah.
Because Pitt probably could go. I don't know if he was 4.2, but he probably could go 4.3. You know,
yeah.
So as far as like anything that I would change, man, I didn't lift weights. Yeah. Other than that, I did what I thought was the best for me at the time, and looking back, I wouldn't tell myself, hey man, you better make sure you lift them weights so you can go in the second round. Nah. Yeah. So I really don't have, to be honest with you, anything that I truly regret or feel like I missed out on because I didn't do something. I really don't have those regrets.
Got you. Well, we gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. I certainly appreciate the time. A couple more things. What is, if you had to pick a word or a phrase, couple of words that describes how sports shaped you, what would that be?
Man, I was trying, because it came to me, but I can't even remember the quote. So if I had to say something, man, I guess if I had to come up with something about sports, it's I'm trying to think. We used to have a weightlifting Coach Long. He passed away. And he would always say something about not quitting and just lifting weights, man. But I would say you're gonna get in which you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. Let's just go with that. Yeah. You're gonna get out what you put in. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I like that. That seems to be a theme amongst a lot of athletes. You get out what you put in. All right. What is this last thing, and then we're gonna let you go. What is a mantra or a quote that you live by today?
All right. This was my senior quote that I still stand by today. Right on to the real and death to the fake. That comes from an Outcast. I don't know if it was from a skit or what, but yeah, man, I
say that again. Right on to the real
and death to the fake, man.
Death to the fake.
That's my senior quote in my senior book. Man, I don't like being around fake people, man.
Yeah.
I don't like being around phony people. I had a kid, a friend in high school, a guy I used to hang out with, associate, who would just lie. And I can't fathom how everybody knows you're lying, but you'll still say it anyway.
You're the only one.
Yes. And I just don't like people, man, I'm sorry, let me not say I don't like. I prefer not to be around or associate with people that are full of it. That's just something that and the reason I may feel like that is because I don't BS people,
Yeah.
right? I don't embellish. I
Yeah.
don't oversell. That's just something I don't do. I'm not good at sales because I'm gonna tell you exactly what the product does, and you either want it or you don't.
That's it. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
so that's just something that I live by, something that I stand by, man, and it's been like that pretty much my entire life. That particular mantra, man, is that like they say, keep it real, man, keep it 100, keep it a buck,
Yeah.
all of that, man. But yeah, right on to the real and death to the
Death to
fake.
the fake, man. I love that. Hey, now I appreciated your time in the exchange. So, is there anything you want to share with the audience that maybe we didn't cover? We've covered a lot of ground today. Is there anything that I may have missed that you want to share?
Man, I think I ran my mouth enough. I can't think of anything. But I will I'll say this. I'll say this. Growing up as an athlete and having now being a father, I will say this. If your kids aren't going to play sports, right?
Okay.
Find something for them to do, because I don't care if it's ballet, violin, piano, chess. I don't
Yeah.
care what it is.
Yeah.
If you have kids, man, if you have kids, encourage them. Try to sign them up for as much stuff as possible, and then hopefully they'll start asking you to sign them up for stuff. And the reason I say that is because, like I mentioned earlier, the structure, the dedication, and the commitment that you have to make when you're involved in extracurricular stuff. So you want to push them to be highly uh, sound academias or in academics,
Right.
right? You want to push that, and then also push something extracurricular, and I think you will be doing your child a favor.
Yeah.
You, if I think you're doing your child a disservice if all they do is go to school. Um, chess club. I don't care what it is, man. Be
Something
in
outside the book. Yeah.
Yes, be in
Yeah.
something extracurricular, along with holding your children accountable for their academics, and you will set a good foundation for them to have a better chance, I feel, as though, of being successful in life.
Hey, man, I can't agree more, and we appreciate that. We thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being open and candid about some things. And we want to thank our audience for paying attention, tuning in to the Exchange Zone, because champions don't drop the baton. Until next time, make sure you stay connected. Y'all be safe out there.
All right.